Good evening and welcome to Cardiff City World. You are joined tonight by myself and Mr. Evan James. Good evening, sir. How are we?
Evening, absolutely raging I am. Why we didn't score 8, I do not know.
Yeah, it was a bit of a bonkers scoreline when, I know you had commitments last night, so you didn't get to watch the full game. But I suppose you must have seen that afterwards and thought, Jesus Christ, because I think every Welsh fan before yesterday was expecting a tight game yesterday. I think, wasn't
Yeah, I think after Liechtenstein, you sort of think, oh well, if we only can win 1-0 against them, North Macedonia is going to be a real sort of slog. It's going to be really big challenge because North Macedonia, they're not as bad as the teams they used to be. They're a lot better, and
Well,
we've
that's the
seen them
first
now.
game. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm probably not the best one to review this game, to be honest, because I don't watch much Welsh football. Although I did go to the game last night, but I think that's the first game they've lost in the group stages, if I'm right. And I think before last night they'd only conceded 3 goals in the entire qualification campaign. So
They
for
did
us
just
to
draw
score
them and win,
7
and they
goals
yeah.
it was an incredible performance. It was a great atmosphere. It was brilliant, and it was exciting to be there. And as a Cardiff fan, I can't help but feel a bit jealous when there's like just over 32,000 fans there, and I'm thinking I'd love it if there was like that week in, week out for the city. But hopefully we'll get back there one day.
One day. Hopefully not have to wait till too long. So
yes, but obviously I know you caught up on the highlights. So what's your overall opinion? I know
well,
7-1.
I can't remember all the goals, Matt. To be honest, there were too many of them, really. But no, I think I don't know. It's like I think you gotta say like the manager's got to take a lot of credit for this, right? Because you don't score that many by mistake, do you? You know what I mean? It's like you could say 1 or 2 of them might have been like deflected goals, and like Cardiff done as well a lot of times. But it's clearly set about they played right into our hands as well by the looks of things. So they barely had a sniff on goal from what I've seen, and the one goal they did score, I mean, it come from our own mistakes, if I'm being honest, because right through the middle of our defence. I mean, it's hard to be picked again. Well, 3 of them were set pieces, right? And they're all from Harry Wilson. So he got a hat trick of set pieces. But regardless, I just thought it was so nice to see a score free kick as well, because we don't do it all the time. But, it reminds me a bit of Bale, really, having, is he a left footer? I think he's Harry Wilson as well. It just sort of brings me back to those days of qualifying for the World Cup or the Euros, should we say, back then. So yeah, it's just we scored different. It wasn't one type of goal either. It was, they were all different in their own way, which it didn't matter regardless. But it was nice to see Brennan Johnson get on the score sheet for once, because if I'm being honest, up until this point, I haven't really seen him click into gear. I don't know whether that's things on his end or other things, or I don't know whether he's not working the right system, but for whatever reason last night, I mean, he scored a cracker, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. And obviously I've talked to a few people, and my boy Josh is his second team then at Tottenham Hotspur, who obviously Brennan plays for. But I think a lot of people have said that's his best performance in a Welsh shirt last night, and I think he's come under a little bit of criticism due to his performances in a Welsh shirt. But I think he answered his critics last night for me. He was outstanding on that left-hand side. I think previously he plays a lot on the right, but he played on the left last night, coming off onto his right foot, and the goal he scored was fantastic. And credit to him, because like I said, I think he have had his critics. But I think he quietened them down a bit last night, to be honest. And I think there was a few others as well. Like I said, it wasn't a one-man performance. I know Harry Wilson took the plaudits, and rightfully so to a certain extent. Obviously, captaining his country, scoring a hat-trick as well. He was outstanding, and obviously former Cardiff player as well. It was magic to see. But there were some really positive performances, and just the way we played football, we just didn't allow Macedonia to get any foothold in the game, really. Some of the passing was incredible, and I think I was sat there last night in the family end with my boy, and I think I seen a lot of similarities in the way that BBM is trying to play it with Cardiff, in the way that Wales want to play. But obviously, I would imagine, the standard international football is probably a lot higher than what we are at Cardiff at the moment. But there was a lot of similarities there. And obviously to score 7 goals, they were clinical, which is what we're lacking at the moment.
I think the thing is, right, you say clinical is exactly right. I was going to say, like, the difference in the quality of the standard, like, representing your country as well is, like, it's no joke. Obviously, playing for your boyhood club is, like, people's number one dream. But then once you've already got that dream where you're already playing professional football, the next thing is, I need to get to play to a level. I need to get to play for a decent club, enough club, so that I get recognised to play for my national team. And I'm going to be honest, like, the goals that we scored, I can't look at many of them and think, you know what, the keeper could have done much better. I think, like, all of them were placed exactly where you want them to be, as far away from the keeper.
And he made a couple of great saves there, goalkeeper, as well. It could have been a lot more, to be honest. I think we had some.
Unfortunately, he didn't make the highlights, so I wouldn't have known. But I'm sure, obviously, he wasn't helped out by his defense much. But I think it really helps, because when even the penalty, the first goal, like, he dives the right way and everything. He gets a touch to it as well, I'm pretty sure. And there's no way, with the power and the position he's getting on that. I mean, look, we can't expect Cardiff City in League One to do that. But a lot of Cardiff players have been getting involved recently in the squad. And I think, it helps when you have players around you as well as that. But you talk about BBM then, and if we just swapped Craig Bellamy for BBM, would Craig Bellamy struggle a bit more for Cardiff and BBM excel more Wales? Like, it's one thing having, a good manager club, but then also when you have that level of quality to score those goals, it does help. But at the same time, we've got to be realistic, and with Cardiff players, to a point, really young players. I mean, our whole squad now, Wales and Cardiff, are based on the youth, and that's how every team's going. But yeah, it's just nice to see the goals fly in, and they weren't just, like, scuffed all the time. Can't expect that every time, but it was a treat.
Yeah, it was fantastic, but it was a great night. It was a cold night at Cardiff City Stadium last night, but it was well worth. I was that cold at one point. I said to my boy, "If it gets to 4-1, Josh, we'll go, shall we?" Thinking about the traffic as well on the way home, and he said, "I'm not going early, Dad. We'll miss loads of goals." And he was right as well, because they scored. Obviously, they scored the 7 in the end, but. Another player who I thought was outstanding yesterday, I don't know how much you've seen of it in the highlights, was David Brooks. I thought he was outstanding.
Yeah, he got the score sheet as well, didn't he?
Yeah. Obviously, the difficulties that he has had in his career with obviously the cancer battles and things, it's great now to see him back performing on the international stage. I thought he was fantastic and was a real threat.
Yeah, I just realised now I got the lineup just to familiarise myself. I didn't realise they started with Lawler as well, which I thought was a very interesting, quite a brave decision as well. I mean, I say brave, he's been reliable so far. That appearance against Kazakhstan, like, he put his name in the hat there a lot. But, you think if people come off the bench as well, like, you bring on players like Nathan Broadhead, Sorba Thomas, Rhoda Kapaki, Isaac Davis, like, these are players that could possibly start, and then you've got all that to bring on as well. I mean, I'm not the most familiar with their squads, but there's a few players, like some of their wingers, that I'd say they're key players. But apart from that, I don't, there's no one necessarily that screams danger. But at the same time, North Macedonia have done so well up until this point, they just can't handle Wales for whatever reason.
Yeah, like I said, I think a lot of Welsh fans, they were probably expecting North Macedonia to come to Cardiff City Stadium last night and kind of park the bus and, kind of play for the draw, because that's all they kind of needed, I believe. But we just didn't allow them into the game. The way we played the football, like I said, some of the passing was incredible. And, as a Cardiff fan, it's where we want to get to, innit? I suppose, if we can kind of compare that type of brand of football that Wales played last night, so fast in transition and things, was a joy to watch, to be honest. Like I said, I don't go to many international games. We went last night because my boy plays for a grassroots club, and they've got a kind of affiliation with the FAW whereby that they get allocated tickets, and however many tickets they sell, they get a percentage of that money back into the grassroots football club. And I think there was 130 people who travelled down last night from Josh's football club, which was fantastic. And it's a great way to get kids involved into the game. And I think I said to you quickly before we come on live, I'd love it if, you know, someone at Cardiff can see what's going on there. And I know they're restricted about how much they can charge for tickets and things, but there's got to be something they can do to try and attract more people, especially in the family end. Just fill it up. Fill it up.
The thing is, go on, finish off.
Sorry.
No, I was just going to say, the thing is, right, I used to work in a cinema, right? I know that sounds really random, but like you pay a certain amount of price for tickets, right? You'd end up, as soon as you get the people in, even if they have free tickets, half price, get discounted, whatever, they're buying loads on like merchandise or like popcorn and stuff like that, and all the confectionery, right? You get a couple of people in, give them either discount or free tickets or whatever kind of deal you can get. They're still going to want, you know, something to eat, something to drink, and then they're going to want to have the halftime snacks, all this and that. And even if they don't get anything, it's more bums on seats, and you know, it's a good it's a good look for the club as well. And you think this now, playing in Cardiff City Stadium is one of the best things that we could be doing for international football as well, because there's only gonna, you know, people who, it's literally, for some people they don't have to travel at all, and some people they have to travel probably, you know, from like to Sunderland at worst maybe, or up in Scotland. I'm not sure what else. We really have players playing in Europe. John James, isn't he back in? Is he playing the Championship now, or Leicester?
Jordan James, yeah, he's at Leicester, I believe, isn't he? I think.
Crazy. I think now, like, you know, I mean, you've got players now. They don't really have to do crazy traveling. Like, for example, like Alex Robertson playing for Australia, or whatever. You're not going to have a reason of, oh well, they're tired, they're jet lagged or whatever. It's like players are really close to the home as well, which really helps. Whereas players like North Macedonia, Belgium, they're traveling all over the place. So that's going to add to another reason. So that possibly could be why they maybe got a bit of shock. I don't know if they had any injuries in this squad, but when I look at it now, I think like if we're above North Macedonia in the table now, how we didn't beat Belgium at least one time, it boggles my mind, because Belgium are so prone to defensive mistakes. And yes, we scored. We come back. What was they won? Like 4-3 was it in the end? They won, I think. But we come back, and it's like if we can show that fight, then it makes sense how we can score against teams like 7-1.
I think last night it was a. I think Bellamy said in his press conference after, you know, it was a close to perfect performance as he could have asked for, really. So, you know, all the big players, every single player on that field stepped up last night. And I think perhaps that's where we've been struggling. We, as in Cardiff, have been struggling, whereby we haven't had that, you know, all our big players and all our players haven't performed, you know, consistently enough as a whole for 90 minutes then, I think. So, yeah, it was a great night, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I just a shame now we've got to wait till March to play the semi-finals, but then at least we're back to league football, I suppose.
We got a chance though. We've given ourselves a fighting chance, which is nice. Usually we try and hang on for dear life and try and cling on to results last minute, like trying to beat Ukraine, and eventually, you know, we won 1-0, and it was only because of an own goal. It's a lovely header, I think it was. And, you know, unfortunately, the time was a tough time for them. And whilst we went through, we didn't really get much further in the World Cup last time. Was that the World Cup or the Euros? I can't remember now. God, that was probably the Euros, I think. But we didn't do well on the group stage. Personally, I remember I was in university when I wanted to watch a game. I think we were versing Iran, or I think it was one of the Iran, or I think it was Iran. And it's just like, we just had no fighting hope whatsoever. But results like these, I mean, like you can only play who's in front of you. But at the same time, we put 7-1 against North Macedonia. There's no reason why we can't beat half decent teams 1-2-0, 2-1. You know, like, and again, it's just you just need these moments of proof. Like now and again, you need these games to remind you, like, look, this is the quality we do have, regardless who we play, whether it's San Marino, North Macedonia, Belgium, Portugal. You know, let's be honest. Like,
and I think the panic last night as well was obviously Jordan James was missing, Ethan Ampadu was missing, so that I think that was a bit of a panic before the start, but we didn't miss them. Obviously, with scorelines shows that we didn't miss them whatsoever. I thought, you know, the guys who stepped in more than, you know, done enough and warranted their place in the team. I thought the starting 11 and even those who come off the bench, every one of those players last night were outstanding. So, you know, credit where credit's due. You know, it was a fantastic performance. I'm going to jump into the comments and say hello to some of the guys who've
Yee.
tuned in. Graham, good evening, my friend. Half-time oranges. Broadhead stole Isaac's goal.
I know.
Yeah, I couldn't see it quite from where I was in the family end, because obviously I think the goal was at the canter end of the ground. But did Isaac kind of headed it? Was it? Or
Yeah, I will say this, right? I look at the replay now because I get the best angle of it, right? Isaac Davis headed it on target, and you think he could leave it, right? And your instinct is you want to make sure that goal goes in, but then also you want to make sure you're not the one offside that cancels that goal out, which he weren't. But like, I think if the keeper looked like he was diving the right way, and there was a chance he would save it. So I think natural instincts from Broadhead is just make sure it does go in, because it's going one way in the direction, the keeper's going that way. If you just send it the other way, he's got no chance and it's confirmed goal. I think you're just trying to be safe, and I mean at that point, really, when you're already 6-1 up or so, it's like whatever. But yeah, you do feel like you probably might have felt a bit robbed from that, but I'm sure they're just happy enough with the 7-1.
100%. Evening, SBF. I'm not sure. It's all weird now with the names and stuff, isn't it? What's that?
Is that Steve, or am I making it up?
Could very well be. I'm not
apologies
sure
if I got it wrong.
With the names and things change now. YouTube have changed everything. Harry Wilson was the massive difference. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I agree. I suppose it was weird last night because we didn't play with an out-and-out striker, did we?
No, that's
Harry
true.
Wilson played as that kind of false nine.
We played it inside forwards though, didn't we? So we had Brennan Johnson, which it worked really well. It was almost like we're watching Liverpool with like the Firmino, Salah, Mane sort of thing, where Firmino was never really a proper striker. He's more attacking midfielder, and it just works really well. So yeah, I mean, if it worked, it worked, But we had the main thing is we didn't just play that with striker. We had a plan, like that was nice. Sometimes with Cardiff, it's kind of like last season especially, we kind of played who was there, and we were still fitting square pegs into round holes,
Yeah. Graham also says De Silva did well. Yeah, I thought he had a very good game. What club does he play for?
Coventry. But I think he's still being like rotation player. But so originally I think he was a midfielder, but he's plays left back for Wales. I think he's the same for Coventry.
Who are obviously flying in the championship at the moment.
That's only going to help him, isn't it?
Yeah. Ryan says nice to see so many players with a smile and playing free-flowing attacking football. Yeah, it was outstanding. Graham also says Romania in the final. Send them because let's get the semis out of the way. Chances were taken. We made the chances and took them. We, as in Cardiff, need to do the same. 100%. Graham said £5 is enough for kids. So, yeah, so that's what the kids' tickets were last night. £5, I think, and it was £30 for adults, I believe. So. Yeah, decent in fairness. Evening, Paul. Paul goes to say Lola looks like a 28-year-old that's been there and done it. Not only that, but Roden looks more comfortable next to him. I'm usually cursing Roden because he looks like a mistake waiting to happen. I thought they both looked solid last night. I think there was a couple of times, especially early in the first half, I think Lola had a couple of touches where it didn't go where he wanted it to. But I think he grew into the game as the game got, kind of went on, and he looked so solid and so comfortable at the back. And I thought that partnership with him and Roden, they were outstanding, in fairness.
I still can't remember. He's 19 years old. Like, he's only just allowed to drink legally in the UK, and he's already played more games than me as a professional footballer.
Graham says, have you seen the Scotland goals?
They went like 4-2 or
something. Was out for Scotland, in fairness. Yeah. Congratulations to our Scottish contingent of viewers. I'm not sure if McInnes is tuned in at the moment, but I'm sure he'll catch up. But it must be, it seen the scenes after the goals went in and some of the commentators and that. It was limbs in the commentary box when I was watching it last night.
Scotland's another sort of one like us, so aren't they? Because they're not England. They kind of have an underdog sort of story written for them.
Yeah, 100%. Paul says, playing with pace from our 310s and wingers and Cullen and Sheehan in midfield, great to watch. North Macedonia were poor. Expected more from them. Yeah. And I know, obviously, it was difficult last night because they were talking about Cullen, and it's very difficult not to sing the song that we normally sing when Cardiff City are playing. But obviously with him having a Welsh shirt on, I thought he'd done well. And again, he gets slated for playing by some people, but I thought he'd done the dirty work well last night. The linked up play, I thought he was decent. And Sheehan again did some good work last night. I don't think he's a regular in the Bolton team at the moment. Sheehan, is he? But
no. But I mean, I heard my dad said again. I can only go off what people have said and what I've seen. But my dad said that he did really well when he came on. So you know, was he a former Swan or I'm not sure. I mean, nothing matters. I'm just saying, like, you know, if he hadn't played for them, then he'd be someone to look at. But obviously not. But no, I think it's so important you have someone that can do a job in number 6 as well, because it's rare you can find them nowadays. Oh yeah, Steve CC was responding to that.
Happy days, Steve.
Hey.
Top man. But yeah, happy days. So I don't know if anybody else wants to mention anything from the game last night. Like I said, there was 32,154 was the official attendance. It was rammed. Like I said, it's a great atmosphere, and like I said earlier, being a Cardiff fan, it'd be great if we could have that kind of support. Like I said, I don't think we'll ever get that until we get back to the promised land, the Premier League, you know, if and when we do that. But we can always live in hope, can't we? And yeah, but happy days. So before we move on and talk a little bit about Cardiff, and I'll play the video. If anybody does have anything else, I see there's a quick comment, and we'll come back to that after the video I'm going to play in a second. But if anybody else does have any questions, or wants to discuss anything more about Wales before we move on to Cardiff, chuck it in the chat, and we'll answer it when we come back.
This episode of Cardiff City World is brought to you by Coral, the proud sponsor of the TalkSport fan network, here for all kinds of fans. For the armchair experts, whether you're constantly negative, overly positive, or maybe even the instant over-the-top reaction social media guy or girl. For the football fashionistas still clinging to the legendary terrace fashion of yesteryear, or the best retro gear from Michael Thorne, the nostalgia merchants dreaming of the old lady Ninian Park, or still celebrating Campbell's goal in the Millennium Stadium, whatever kind of fan you are, with Coral's free-to-play reward shaker with a guaranteed daily reward or offer throughout the season, simply shake your phone to win. Over 18s only. Maximum 1 reward or offer per player per day, 8 a.m. till 8 p.m. Reward restrictions and requirements and other T's and C's apply. For more information on safer gambling, visit gambleaware.org.
So there's a couple of comments gone in the chat whilst excuse me, the boss man was on screen. So Graham says, who do you fancy in the semi-final? I think there's potential for, is it Republic of Ireland?
I don't know, actually. If anyone knows, get them in the comments for us, because I don't have a clue, actually.
I'm pretty sure it's Republic of Ireland, Albania, Kosovo, and I want to say Bosnia, but I might be making that up. I'm not 100% sure, but
I'll take any of them, to be fair. I think Republic of Ireland would be nice, just because, you know, at least one of them's going to get, you know, it'd be a story, wouldn't it? Just all those years back of leaving Great Britain.
I think you got to look at it from last night's performance and the confidence that, you know, the squad would have taken from that. You know, you'd fancy, you know, they'd fancy anybody at home, I think. I don't think any games are given, don't get me wrong. But like I said, I think they'd be quite happy with any one of those 4, to be honest. Be interesting to see with the guys in the chat and who they would fancy.
Here we go. Paul's got it. Well done. You were right, I think. Kosovo and Bosnia Herzegovina. I think it would be great if we do get Republic of Ireland. We have a chance to face O'Dowda and Callum Robinson, possibly. Is it McGuinness playing Northern Ireland, or I'm not sure if Callum Robinson's got in the latest.
I don't think he's been in any of the current squads, but
very interesting.
I look at it from a different point of view as well. I would like to play one of the others, so perhaps I just like, say, the home nations. it'd be nice to have Republic of Ireland at the World Cup as well. I think obviously Scotland would be there, England are there.
It would be nice to all four.
Yeah,
100%. There's less light for us, then less spotlight on us. That's the only difference.
Take a bit of pressure off. Are the next games at the rugby stadium? Not that I'm aware of, buddy. Steve says he watched the game on the TV, the anthem before the game, had my hairs on the back of my neck. England, yeah, it's a great atmosphere.
I was singing even in my room. It's goosebumps for days, isn't it?
Yeah. You've probably seen the video I shared on the WhatsApp group, the members' WhatsApp group last night. That my boy with his shirt off, swinging his shirt around. Yeah, I'm sure I put it on there. It's either on there or on Facebook. I can't remember. But,
to be fair, for last night, I got back home from Llanton Major about 10 o'clock, and I had to get up for 5:30 for work this morning. So it's been like 2 long days for me. But
nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think after the 4th goal went in, every time we scored, his shirt was off. He stood on his seat, waving his shirt around. Bearing in mind his bloody Baltic last night.
I was gonna say.
He's a different breed, that boy, in fairness.
Fair enough.
And that, at the end of the day, is memories I'm making with my boy as well now. So
of course.
I love it. So
we'll be winning 7-1 every week. I'll let him know
I told him that. And obviously, we're going to come on to talk about Cardiff, but there was an opportunity at the beginning of the week for me to have got tickets to go to Northampton on Saturday. So I asked Josh, "Do you want to go to Northampton Saturday?" No. I want to play football instead. He plays football on a Saturday morning now.
Fair enough. Yeah.
So that's why we've struggled to go to away games this year. But I kind of like that as well, though. He wants to go out and he wants to play football. So
make a name for himself.
I'm not too disappointed, really. I'll watch it on the TV, and
I'll be traveling with the squad in a few years' time.
So. You never know. You never know. Will City bring us all back down to earth on Saturday?
See, Graham, we're having a nice, lovely time.
We'll come back to Cardiff in a bit. Let's go through some of the other Welsh-related comments first, and we'll come back to that. Paul says Ireland, Albania, Bosnia, Kosovo. I'm pretty sure England played Albania the other night, didn't they? Beat them 2-0, I believe.
I think so, yeah.
So they didn't look too bad, in fairness, Albania, but England beat them 2. I think Harry Kane scored 2 goals.
And then quantity some of those teams, aren't they? Like the Albania, the Serbias kind of things. Like,
yeah,
I never know who you're going to
get. This would be my choice as well. Jonathan Mordecai says Kosovo. I wouldn't be disappointed if we
don't know anything about them. So yeah, sure, why not?
I don't know much about them, but I like the sound of it, I think.
Fair enough.
Paul says he doesn't fancy Bosnia or Ireland. Jonathan Mordecai says, with how regularly Wales put 7 past anyone, it's probably a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Yeah, I can't remember. Somebody said the last time it happened, Wales put 7 goals on someone. I can't remember the year, but I think it was a while back.
I think, but the thing is, right, I understand it's not going to be a regular occurrence. Let's just put it that way. But I think it's not just how many goals you score; it's how you play overall. Because when we played Wrexham, I was slowly transitioning to Cardiff. Now, when Cardiff played Wrexham, like we won the game, but it's like the performance on the whole was 9-day difference. So how we were performing at the time. And it was so refreshing to see us play and actually enjoy the game as well. So, like, sure, 7-1, you're going to enjoy the game a lot. But, like, even times when we win 2-0, sometimes it can be a really entertaining game. And that's what you really want. Because you want to pay hard-earned money for the ticket. You want to see goals, ideally in the opposition net. But also, you want to be entertained as fans, don't you? So, whether we win 7-1, 2-0, or draw 2-2, you want it to at least be something exciting.
Yeah, I agree. Halftime Oranges says Wales are moving back to the stadium well before Euro 2028. I've just read to get used to bigger stadiums. It's the first time I've heard of that, mate, if I'm completely honest with you. So what's people's thoughts on that? Do you think...
going back to Principality?
Yeah, I just think you lose that atmosphere, I think.
You're not going to fill it, are you?
Last night wasn't a complete sellout because I think the capacity for CCS is 33,000 and something, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 33,500 something like that. But the thing is, right, you this is what I know. I have limited experience in ticket sales and whatever event management. But like, you want to sell out the stadium because it doesn't look good if like I saw this video the other day. I think it's Ben HD or whatever. He makes videos about like the percentage of like stadiums people fill out, and he ranks all the 72 EFL clubs. And we were like really high up the list in terms of like we only sell out about like 56% of our stadium for Cardiff games. So like, you really want to make sure you sell it out because otherwise, nothing worse than having a half-empty stadium, even though it looks cool and big. You want to be able to actually like use that atmosphere where most bums on the seats, and that's like I think it's a better thing. If we were getting sold out every game, then you might have a point, sort of thing.
Yeah, agreed. Jonathan makes a good point here. If Wales go back to the rugby stadium, it gets rid of the board's excuse to keep them ugly red seats in Cardiff City Stadium.
The one positive, yeah.
Graham says the atmosphere was terrible the last time we played there, and then bloody horns the kids were blowing. Yeah, there was a few of them up last night. Right, I think that kind of covers Wales. Obviously, Si will do a preview for the Northampton game on the weekend, but obviously there were some Cardiff City players involved in the game last night. Dylan Lawler started. Ronan Capaccio come off the bench. Isaac Davis come off the bench. Was I disappointed last night the Caldwell brothers didn't get a look in? No, really. I was sat there with my Cardiff cap on as well, if I'm honest, thinking I just want him to be fit for Saturday.
Yeah, I was thinking that,
yeah. Once we'd gone 3-4-1 up, I was like, take Lawler off. Take him off. Because, he's been struggling with his groin. He's played now Saturday, Tuesday, and we got a 3-hour journey, or it'll probably be 4 hours on the bus for them. And I know they'll probably go up the night before or whatever. But, do you think BBM will go with him now Saturday? Or do you think he might look?
Yeah, I hope that Fish is fit because I think he does play. Because he played home last night, right? So it's like it's not going to be much different. I think the only thing is you haven't got the excuse of like the traveling is tiring. It's just playing is tiring, and he played the whole game, didn't he? So yeah, it's going to be tough for him. But I think if he goes from that level now playing all of a sudden to Northampton, it's going to probably seem a lot easier for him to play, right? Albeit he's around players around League One level. But I think as long as he's fit, I would play him because he's already gone through the harder level playing for your club, for your country, and now you're going to play, no disrespect, Northampton. It's going to probably be a lot easier, more relaxed for him. He's already composed anyway, but
yeah, I was just going to say as well. Now Cardiff City posted a video today of the boys back in training, and Dylan Lawler was there. I did see that, so. No kind of rest. So he must have come through the game unscathed last night, feeling okay.
Thank God, yeah.
That was a positive, and I haven't heard of any other injuries picked up. So hopefully, we kind of go into Saturday full tilt, really, because, I think it's important now. Again, Northampton, I think they're something like 15th in the league.
Yeah, I love that too.
It's time to start picking up points on the road again and getting back to the top of the league if we can.
Yeah, they are 15th, well done. But I think now you're coming into the Christmas period now. It's freezing cold games now that you said last night you were freezing. It's Baltic. It's been Baltic the last almost week. And this is the Christmas period now where you start to see after 15, 16 games where roughly people are going to be in the table. What kind of fight are they going to be in for the season? I mean, look at the teams at the top now, like Stockport, Lincoln, Bradford. I mean, they haven't lost more than 4 games, each. So there's a lot of teams. Most teams have lost at least 6 games by now, and they're still around mid-table. But this is going to be ironing out all the creases and seeing who's actually going to be where. And I know we're 5th right now. We've got a game in hand, or 2 games in hand even. But there's also a lot of teams around us. Stevenage got 3 games in hand now. So we've just got to focus on winning our games. I know it sounds easier said than done, but we've got to forget the table for now and just see where we are come end of December. And just hopefully we don't go on a stinking run like we always do. I hope
Yeah,
a single
I think
change.
that's Stevenage. I'm pretty sure we got Stevenage between Christmas and New Year, I believe. I think we got
I'll
Exeter
take
City.
that.
I think we got Exeter City Boxing Day, and I'm pretty sure we got Stevenage on the 29th. So, that potentially is going to be a massive game.
We got Stevenage on the 9th, Tuesday the 9th of December.
Oh, is it?
It's
we got
away.
on the 29th then.
29th. Oh Christ, I need to go across a second. It is. Oh, we got Monday 29th is home to Stevenage as well. Oh Christ, we got them in both times. So we got them twice. You were right. Got them twice in a short space. That's mad, isn't it? Yeah, we got Lincoln as well, and we're getting all the teams around the top there on Christmas. Just typical, isn't it? But hey, you got to play them at some point, haven't you?
Yeah, 100%. It'll excuse me. And it'll be interesting to see now our strength and depth and how, injury wise, if we pick up any injuries over the Xmas period. But yeah, we shall see. What's your thoughts then regarding the lineup the weekend? Goalkeeper's no brainer, really, isn't it?
Let's be honest. Yeah, where isn't it? To be fair, right, I would never be concerned with Matt Turner in goals. The only reason I would be concerned is thinking what's happened to Trott, right? Because he's not really droppable unless he is injured, and even then, one time he did get kind of a knock. You still end up playing him. We kind of was a bit worried then, but no, you can't drop Trott, really, can you? He's played the season in terms of the EFL, I think. And Lawler, Fish. I think if Fish is fit, I want to see Lawler play anyway. But I don't think Lawler and Chambers works. I also don't think Osho and Chambers works. But I think we've never seen Chambers and Fish, I don't think. But I want to see Fish and Lawler, and then the fullbacks pick themselves, providing they're fully fit. I wouldn't mind seeing a similar squad to last time, but to Blackpool. But I think they've had enough time now to have a rest and to reconstruct. I think the main thing is we had no cover at the back against Blackpool. We just let them run free everywhere. So we need to have at least if Lawler brings the ball up, you've got to at least have Alex Robertson or whoever's number 6 dropping back cover, because I know we were too attacking in a way against them.
Yeah. I'm just looking at the fixtures now through December. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 fixtures. Obviously, that's with the Wimbledon in the Virtue Cup,
Crazy.
Which I think the under 21s are going to play. But yeah, like you said, is a lot of games in a short period of time in it. So it's going to be he's going to earn his money through the month of December, BBM, and hopefully the squad can can kind of back it up and do the job for us. But we shall see.
I will say, Matt, you've gone that cold, you're frozen now.
No,
I'm not sure if you can tell that.
Let me know when I come back. Can you hear me?
I can hear you crystal clear, but I think that's why it's prioritizing the audio over the video.
No, that's all right. You don't have to see my ugly mug.
That's a nice shot of you.
Graham says he didn't realise the Chelsea game is an 8 o'clock kickoff. Yes, it is. And that Virtue Cup game against Wimbledon is a 7 o'clock kickoff, I believe. Halftime Orange says, what do we think promotion points tally will be in this league this season? I think it's difficult. I was thinking earlier, obviously I've never followed League One and the teams in League One prior to obviously us being there this year. But I think on the day in the Championship, anybody can beat anybody. And I think that's the case in League One as well this year. I think obviously we've lost a couple of games. And you look at some of the results of some games, you kind of probably didn't expect some results to go that way. So I think on the day, League One is very similar to the Championship, where anyone can beat anyone, really. And I think, that's football in general, really. Nothing's a given, is it?
No, you look. It's hard to even judge it off form as well, the form table, because it's crazy. Like at the start of the season, you see certain teams go on unbeaten runs for ages, like ourselves. And all of a sudden you get win, loss, win, like that. If form changes all the time. It's very rarely you see people do a Birmingham. I think it's really hard to pinpoint as well, because so many teams have got so many games in hands. Like in the Championship, there's rarely I find you have more than a couple of teams with one game in hand. Whereas we got some teams that got 3 games in hand, 2 games in hand. And it's still hard to predict, because you can say, oh, well, they're not doing that well. but they still got 3 more games to play than other teams. So it's nice sometimes that we do have games in hand to sort of like give us a bit of a redemption, but at the same time, it's like, it's still so close. Like the difference between it's 28 points to Stockport who are top. I mean, Mansfield are 9th and they're on 22 points. But again, it's a couple wins away and a couple losses from big teams.
Am I still froze, Ev?
Yeah, but you sound amazing. So, and it's a nice shot of you on camera. So, bear with us just a second. He's adding himself back in. I'm on the left now. Never mind. I know we can't even see you now.
No, hopefully he'll come back. Can you still hear me all right, though?
Yeah, crystal clear.
Happy days. Joys of technology. We will get there, I'm sure.
Should rename this podcast Evan Talking to a Wall.
Do it. Paul says, by my pre-season predictions, I had us winning the league at Christmas. I don't think you're on your own there, mate. I think me and David Evans were very similar. Very competitive league this season. I think low points total this season. Loads seem to drop points everywhere. Yeah, we've just mentioned that, haven't we? So here he is. I was Scottish.
Hey.
No Scotland, no party. Yeah, Mark, we did mention right at the beginning. Congratulations to Scotland. Great scenes at Hampden Park last night, I think. So, respect to Scotland, and good luck at the World Cup. Right, striker-wise on the weekend, who's starting, bud?
Salek. I think he scored. He put him up front. But if I'm being honest, right, there's going to be a time where I don't want him to see play 4-4-2. So I say Salek. But I think you've got options now. You've got Isaac Davis. He's usually playing on the wing. He can do a job as well there. I would be interested if he doesn't go with Salek, mind, because I don't know. I think sometimes he chops and changes and puts Robinson's on when Salek scored the previous game, and vice versa. And especially when Robinson had this, suddenly started scoring goals, you think you would be playing. But it's a toss-up really, because it's, again, what are you trying to achieve? You want to start with pace, or Salek has got pace when he presses, but like a lot of times we still don't get the ball to him.
Do you think we lose too much playing them both together?
I don't know. As long as for me, you can't play these 3 all at the same time. Isaac Davis, Yusuf Salek, and Callum Robinson, because then you basically have no striker then, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. I know there's players that can do a job at striker, but I think if you play all 3 of those at the same time, you've got no options. But at least if you keep one of those off, you can bring one of them on. I think with Salek, though, he's a striker, and striker alone, he's just a poacher. Whereas Robinson and Isaac Davis, they can fit into sort of like a winger or midfield, a worst case scenario. With Salek, I find I'd rather start him because, that striker is his primary and only position. I just think that I hope now, I saw the Wales game, and one thing I noticed watching the highlights again, is that when we got the ball on the wings for Wales versus North Macedonia, we're instantly attacking them as wingers, albeit cut inside a lot. They're instantly 1v1 in the defenders. And we don't do that at all. We sort of like wait and hold the ball a bit, and then no wonder why Yusuf Salek can't score until like the 95th minute or so. He still scores, which is great. But I just feel like we need to start giving the service to Salek now, because it will become frustrating even if he does score a few goals.
Yeah, we shall see. I reckon he'll go with Salek as well, if I'm completely honest with you. Makinesh says, any news on Pierce and Parfitt? Are they injured? Pierce looked as if he had a quad strain injury in that Arsenal under-21s game last week. I haven't heard any more on that, if I'm completely honest. Same with Parfitt, Makinesh. Jonathan says, a lot feels Salek hasn't started great and hasn't done much this season. How many goals less than the league top scorer do you think Salek has scored, even with a lack of service? I think he's only 1 or 2 behind John, isn't he? He's not a million miles away.
Far.
Yeah, he's not a million miles away. But again, I think it's all the donkey work he does and the hard work he puts in.
Yeah.
Just at times, I believe. Sue says, well done to Scotland as well. He's only one behind. Graham's predicted lineup for the weekend then is Trott, Capaccio, Fish, Lola, Bagan, Kellyman, Ruben, Joel, Robinson, Willock, Davis, and Robinson, I'm guessing.
How many players are in that lineup? 1, 2,
Robert,
3,
I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So perhaps Robson.
Does Willock fit?
I'm not sure if he is.
Be interesting if he got chucked straight back in if he was fit, wouldn't it? I know he had a bit of a break, but
yeah, no, definitely.
It's a shame he comes good.
Markinish says Pierce looks like an interesting prospect. Looked really dangerous when he came on against Arsenal under 21s last week. For me, he was disappointed he went off injured. To be fair, but I think me and Reese mentioned it about him last weekend. I think, is he another one now who's struggling with injuries? He seems to, he's come back from one and, he's picked up another one pretty much straight away. Hopefully he can get it sorted. It's not a massive one, and he can get back out on the pitch ASAP.
Go on. Sorry. As I go through that, I'll ask now. Actually, here's something for the chat. Right? Would you swap out because if Turnbull were to get on the bench, right? Would you swap him out for Troy Parrott? And I'll let you also read that out. And if anyone gets back, it'd be interesting to hear what the people say about that. Would you put Turnbull out and put Troy Parrott on the bench instead?
Jonathan Mordecai goes for Trott, Capaccio, Lola, Fish, Bagan, Wintle, Robertson, Ruben, Kellyman, Salah and Willock.
Well, people are saying Willock a lot.
I wouldn't be disappointed with that one on Saturday. Willock was said to be expected back after an international break, so let's hope he's fit and firing. We have missed him. Yes, Turnbull needs to be benched. Graham says definitely. Paul says we'll know tomorrow because it's Thursdays. They normally do an interview with BBM, so we'll know more on how the squad is injury-wise. And Jonathan also says, does Turnbull make the bench with Willock back? That's the question.
Only have 7 subs, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think, he's going to struggle, I think, and it's a shame to say it, but I think with Robertson back, I've been impressed with Robertson in the couple of games we've seen since he's come back. And, he'll probably put his hand up and say, he's not firing on all cylinders yet. He's still getting match fitness and stuff. But, I've liked what I've seen of him, when he has come back into the team.
Yeah, he's doing the simple stuff right, isn't he? He's not like trying to do anything complex. I think the man just probably said to him and said, you're here to do a job. And then just slowly progress in that, because the last thing you want is to come back after this whole like redemption arc kind of like waiting, and then he's done like a howler move because he's tried some in fancy which shouldn't have. And when you play the deeper role number 6 as well, you don't really want him to pull off loads of spins and tricks as such. You just want them to make sure they sit in front of the back line and do the job. But the way BBM wants to play is he does want the defensive midfielder getting in the attack as well. And now, whilst it's great, it can be a bit costly at times. I mean, we have seen it, but I can't say he's put a foot wrong yet. So,
yeah, no, agreed. Halftime Oranges says absolutely. The younger boys are proud of the badge and are playing to get established and noticed by the gaffer. I'd give them more of a chance, if anything. Going back to the Cardiff against Arsenal under 21s last week, the youngsters were incredible. So much hunger and desire, flying into challenges. It was brilliant to see. And there's a lot of talent in that under 21s team. And I know Sai have done videos about Darren Pearce and Gavin Chesterfield and stuff. But, I think we got every right to be excited with that, what's the word I'm looking for? Conveyor belt of talent that's coming through.
Yeah.
I don't think BBM's afraid to use them. Whereby in the past couple of seasons under Bullet and Reza, I think they were maybe use the youngsters.
I just don't understand it was the most you saying last season, or apart from trust the process or whatever reason Bullet was saying is they're not ready. They're not ready. And now what happens now? We get a youth focused manager from Man City Academy, or from Man City, should I say, and then all of a sudden our squad's average age just like dropped by like four like points or whatever. It's crazy. Like most of our players are under like 23 now. Is absolutely insane. And to think
they've
that
been available to us for the last couple of years, which is the
Dylan
baffling
Lawler
thing, isn't it?
I mean, yeah, exactly. Dylan Lawler. I mean, I think he had a little few injuries to start, but there was still plenty of times where you could use them. Capaccio, I mean, to be fair to him, he was 17 then, so you can understand that, and he did get used a little bit. But the fact we had the likes of Dylan Lawler sitting there and Troy Perrott getting offers from supposed allegedly Premier League teams is ridiculous. And the fact that we still got hold of them, we should be using them now. Because look, I got to be honest. I know we're in a place now where we say we're not eager to sell players now unless the right thing comes in. But like, at least rotate them in your squad now, which we've started to do, because that's only going to increase their value. And we've got to be selfish in some ways. So we can't fit all of our youth players into the starting lineup. It's not feasible. But what you can do is you can introduce them into the first team. I'm sure many of them do train, like Troy Perrott, for example. And at least then, if you give them a couple of games, they can better assess where they're going to be, if they're going to fit in the squad, or if other clubs are going to come in elsewhere, because you get a much better valuation than if they just sit in the academy all the time. And what happens then? They get released somewhere else or snapped up for cheap,
Yeah, no, agreed. Paul says, I think Turnbull needs a move away, or we find him a place in the side. As a 6, I don't rate him as a 10, maybe, but others are in front of him, as is the 8th position. Jonathan goes on to name his bench for the weekend: Turner, Chambers, NG, Joel, Ashford, Robinson, Davis on the bench with my lineup. Turnbull not involved. Interesting. Macanish says we need a decent winger who can cross the ball, like Parfitt in the team. Scotland showed that with the McLean last night and his crossed balls. Jonathan also goes to say, Risa reminded me of Morrison when players got back from injury, back on the grass. Yeah, we heard that once or twice, didn't we? Will Tan keep the youngsters and build a team, or see it as a cash cow?
I want answer. I'll let you answer that one.
I think we've always been known to be a bit of a cash cow, really, haven't we? If we've had youngsters and they're decent, they've kind of moved on. And for me, I never mind a player moving on if they're going on to bigger and better things. It's like when they go into like West Brom and stuff like that, and Birmingham or Derby.
Yeah.
Again, it's down to the player and whatever, but I just get a bit frustrated, really. I think, you don't mind them going to maybe a mid-table Premier League club, all the best, good luck type of thing. But yeah, I don't know. When you go into a team that we're not a million miles away from, as in ability-wise, then
does make you ask questions, doesn't it? But I think with West Brom is an interesting point to bring up, because I feel like they're kind of doing what we're doing, but just a bit late, but a bit earlier in the line. I say, like, we were always kind of competing mid-table to playoffs, wherever, like West Brom were, and now they're falling down a lot now. And even though they got quality in their squads, for some reason, whether it's the manager Ryan Mason or whatever, it's not working for them. I'm not sure if he got sacked a while ago, or if I'm making that up. But like they're someone you'd think would be up there, and they're not now. And to think, like, for example, we sold McGuinness for upwards of 10 million, I think, and that they finished bottom. It says finished second, bottom, or third. I can't remember now. But yeah, like, it's just mad to think with some players there to clubs are more or less adjacent to us. But to be fair, I don't think anyone expected Luton to get relegated.
We're going to kind of finish up on this one. I'll do this one first. Matt, did you and Josh end up staying for the whole match yesterday? Yes, mate. He wouldn't let me leave early because he wanted to see all the goals, apparently.
Fair enough.
As you've probably seen as well, he was there. I'm pretty sure I put it in the WhatsApp group. I can't remember. But, there's a video going around of him with his top off. Every goal from, I think it was the fourth goal onwards. He stood on his seat waving his top in the air. But, yeah. Interesting comment, this one. So we'll finish up on this one, guys. Are City going to end up playing without a striker? As things seem to change each month, the style has evolved. So will City end up with a false 9 and get money for Salah? So very
That's an
similar to
interesting
what
point.
we done, so what Wales done last night then without playing with a recognised striker. Is that something maybe BBM might be able to adapt to, do you think?
Such a risk though, isn't it not? Like, because like, look, if you get a certain amount, like how much would you take? If we say we had to sell Salah at a certain price, how much would you take from him first of all? Because I genuinely think you got to at least think about 13 mil.
I can't remember how much we paid for him. Was it something like 5 million?
No, it was like 3 mil, I think. But I think
Was
there's
it?
it was clauses in there. I think.
I can't remember.
I think it was in euros though, so like they're a bit bigger. But yeah, it was
I
a hefty amount.
I don't think we'll sell him unless we don't get
Nah.
promoted. If we don't get promoted, then
Then he's
chances
off.
are, he's probably going to go. But
I think
yeah,
it's too
I
much
would
of a
say.
risk to play without a striker anyway, regardless whether you have him or not.
But I think we got enough talent in our squad to maybe play like Wales did last night. Really, we got so much attacking threat in.
Yeah,
Like you said, Isaac Davis, Kellyman, Ruben. We've got a lot of talent who could do what Wales done last night, I think. But like you said, whether BBM will take that gamble and not go with a recognised striker, I'd be very, very surprised.
who would be a false 9 then, if for Cardiff, if we did do that system?
Oh, it's a tricky one, isn't it?
Because Reza tried Ruben Colwell there, but to be fair, there wasn't really much of a game plan at that time when we had the likes of El Ghazi and Kanga around him,
No, I think Isaac Davis would do a job there, I think.
Yeah.
Oli
Tan, I would say. I genuinely think he could do good when he's fit, because I think he can play in the middle as well. I think sometimes he would invert. And then actually, I think, you know what, he could actually do a job in midfield. Obviously, he would be an advanced playmaker more, but...
Yeah. We was going to finish on that last one, but there is another one here from Paul. After Lola's exploits for Wales, January worries me. Bound to be some interest.
It already has been.
Mate, 100%.
Yeah.
And I do always look at it and think if people are interested in our players, we must be doing something right.
Yeah.
If our defenders weren't getting recognised, this, that, and the other, then we'd probably be struggling. Don't get me wrong, I don't want him to go. I want him to be at Cardiff for the next 10 years.
Forever.
But like I said earlier, if he's going to get a call up from, I don't know, a blinking
Liverpool
mid-table team in the Premier League, then he's a young lad who's got the world at his feet, really, to be honest. He's got so much talent. He's so composed. Such a nice guy as well.
For me, I think he only goes to the top, because even if he doesn't get played in the first team, like you look in the big, I'm talking, be biased, you talk at the big clubs who are seeing that talent, they're outcomposing 19-year-olds international football. He's only playing international football at 19 years old. There's not many players doing that, getting in the first team. You're looking at the likes of Man United, maybe not Man City, but Man United, Tottenham, possibly.
I thought it said big clubs.
Oh yeah, sorry, my bad. Sorry, Liverpool. I said Man United and Tottenham, the two clubs that are, you get what I mean though. It's like they're going to be rotating in the first team because of the age and how early they're starting. It's like you look at the big clubs. I mean, mind you, if a Crystal Palace come in with 20 mil for him, it's. I love it. I want him so much to stay, but it's hard to turn down that, isn't it?
I think it's got an Aaron Ramsey Arsenal move about it. To be honest, it looks. I wouldn't be surprised at all. Wouldn't be surprised at all. So what I would say, we need to be clever with that. If he is going to move on to whatever club he's going to move on to, and this is speculation only, nothing has been said or things speculation only. We need to be smart, and if he's not playing at Arsenal or Crystal Palace or whatever side he might end up going to, we have him back on loan.
Yeah,
something's got to be agreed. His advisors or the club, the board, have got to be smart, and if you can sign him, but we get first dibs if he's not going to kind of play regular for you type of thing.
That's a really good point, actually, you say that, because that's a really good negotiation power as well. In saying, like, a lot of players, how I imagine it goes is the manager sits down with the agent, and then you think, like, okay, well, you can go to this Premier League club or mid-table, wherever, but you do realise most of the games you could be on the bench or whatever. Whereas if you're still here, you're at your home club, you know, where everyone's boy dream to play for their hometown, wherever. You get to play international football at the same stadium when you're playing home, and also you're pretty much guaranteed starter and future captain of the club. I mean, how good does that sound, right? And yeah, of course, you might be getting paid, you know, a fair bit less, but you're getting, you know, you're getting first exposure to the fans, everything, you know, can absolutely love you, future captain. And then even then, you could still go to a club, a better club future on your career. He's got his whole career ahead of him. Most people don't even hit their prime till they get to about 26, 27 years old. So there's always chance. He has a time at Cardiff. And, you know,
I agree with you that, you know, he's got time on his side, but then I think with his injuries and things, any footballer is one game away from it being their last, isn't they?
True.
So,
that's
you know,
you remember
if
that.
they got that potential move to an Arsenal, a Man City, a Liverpool,
Probably take it, wouldn't you?
You know, and could you blame him?
No, of course not. I just hope, I'm praying that he goes for a decent evaluation if he were to. Because I'm being honest, the Cardiff way, like you said before, is not been pretty, is it?
No, but if we can get 10 million for Mark McGuinness, then, like you said, that 20 million pound valuation is
minimum.
Yeah, 100%. Ev, thank you very much for joining me on the Wednesday evening, my friend. Much appreciated as always.
Thank you as well.
Thank you everybody in the chat for your comments and your questions, this, that, and the other. I think Rob and Aaron are back tomorrow night. Are you live on Friday? Ev,
I am live solo on Friday, unless people really want to pre-recorded me again. But no, I will be live Friday night.
Happy days. I'm in work Friday, so I'll be back then with Reese on Saturday night for the 1927 club. So, as always, guys, thanks for your support. If you are not a member of Cardiff City World and you would like to become a member of Cardiff City World, you can do it in a variety of ways. I will put the QR code in the top right-hand corner.
Off my forehead.
With me.
Forehead. I can't see my cameras in the way, so
you can scan the QR code up in the top corner, or you can go via Cardiff City World YouTube channel and join via that way. For the price of a cup of coffee a month, you can help support the channel. It allows Side to keep making sure there's content out 7 days a week for you guys. Am I still frozen as well?
It's just a black screen, mate. Honestly, I've been talking to a brick wall for the last. No. It's just a black screen, but yeah.
I can swear now it's after 9 o'clock, but yeah, that's a bit weird, isn't it? But at least you've heard my voice, but that's the main thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to love you and leave you. Thank you all. Have a good evening. Halfway through the week, we're on the way down to the weekend. Come on, the City.
This channel is powered by an incredible membership community on Cardiff City World and patreon.com/AcePodcastNation. Becoming a member unlocks exclusive rewards from early access to live event tickets, bonus content, and even the occasional inside transfer scoop when we get it. But more importantly, it allows us to bring you top quality Cardiff City content 7 days a week. Across those 7 days, we're talking match previews, exclusive interviews, instant match reactions, the breakdown podcast, tactical deep dives, the Spotlight series, Bluebirds Rewind, Academy Focus, and just so much more. Led by myself, backed by an army of passionate Cardiff City fans, this is content created by fans, for fans, balanced, professional, and 100% all about the club we all love. If you enjoy what we do, then join the community today and support what we are doing as we help to keep Cardiff City World flying high.